How's it going, Rogues Gallery? We need to talk about, well, a lot of stuff. We're going to do some housekeeping here. I have the announcement and reveal of our brand new mecha-themed playmat, part of the series that I'm calling Project Red Zone Mecha. It's absolutely gorgeous. It goes on sale today, as well as a restock of the previous two mecha pieces and sleeves for all three of them. That's kind of like the most exciting thing we're going to be talking about today, but we're also going to be talking about the state of Gundam here on Red Zone Rogue, how it's kind of impacted the channel this year. We're going to talk about the other card games on the channel and just like kind of a bunch of stuff. This is kind of like the year-end channel update. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're talking about the high highs. We're going to talk about some of the low lows and some of the stuff for next year. So past, present, and future for Red Zone Rogue. So let's immediately go ahead and jump into an overlay. We'll come back to me here in the full form when we talk about some of the other topics, but I want to showcase our new splash art and playmat. Let me introduce you to Vaya Fleet Commander. This is our latest Red Zone or Project Red Zone mecha splash art and playmat featuring our original character Vaya. Kind of a little bit of a backstory behind this character. She was actually named by the community over on the Red Zone Rogue Patreon. She was the second official character. We have 4, by the way, and she's kind of gone through some iterations, but this is kind of her latest version, and I would say her definitive version. This art is absolutely beautiful, done by Pinakis, one of my personal favorite industry artists. He does work on Grand Archive, Azure Lane, Arc Knights. He's a figure and model kit design artist. He's done manga and light novels. He's awesome. And, well, clearly. So, I always love working with Pinakis. He also loves trading card games, and we chat about those sometimes. So, like, I'm super honored to continue to work with Pinakis, and he just does an incredible job. He's the kind of artist where I'm like, okay, here's my idea. Here's the character, and then he just gives me like amazing stuff. He's like, here's some ideas, some examples, and I'm like, we're going with that one. And then he just yeah, no notes. It looks so good. So a couple little things about this. I love the touch of the aircraft in the background. He always includes this, which was not originally like asked for, but he always includes RZR somewhere on the playmat, which I absolutely love. I don't like putting branding and logos on my playmats anymore, so I love having it like incorporated into the mat, so you don't have just this logo just slapped on. Very cool. Also, Vaya herself is absolutely gorgeous. I love her suit that he gave her that has like kind of these glowing these glowing sections of her suit. He always has like really awesome dynamic poses. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm super proud of this. He did an incredible job with our first 2 mecha themed playmats. They were both in space, and they both featured 2 different opposing factions. This one is on, Earth, and our second one, or our fourth one, will also be on Earth. This one, she is of the same faction as the Katsumi Mech Pilot playmat. So that stands to assume that our 4th playmat will be of the same faction as the codename Villain playmat. Yeah, I just can't gush about this enough. I love the artillery and the guns. It just looks so good. So this is available right now to pre-order. So let's go ahead and I'll show you the website. The website, as I'm recording this, it will not be on here because, well, I'm unveiling it now. But for you in the future or in the now, it'll be here now. So just go to redzonerogue.com. It's our official merch store. We have sleeves, playmats. We have this super cute enamel pin for only $15. We also have some extra, token cards and all this kind of good stuff. But what we're talking about today is the this here. So you can actually see it from the drop-down menu in Project Red Zone Mecha, but we do have it as the splash right on the main screen right now. And you just click anywhere on this, and it'll take you to Project Red Zone Mecha. As I said, this all says sold out, but that's because I'm recording this before I've published everything. Yeah, we have a restock of everything here, in addition to the playmat, this, and then the sleeves. Here's a little mock-up of the sleeves. These are going to be Dragon Shield sleeves as usual. They are a great sponsor of Red Zone Rogue. So, yep, we have the Dragon Shield sleeves, and then we have the playmat. As always, when you buy sleeves with any playmat, you get $5 off. That's just true across the whole website. It's just kind of like a little playmat sleeve bundle. And yeah, I hope everyone likes this as much as I do. I love this. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. As you'll notice, each playmat has kind of like its own like color scheme. So this one is like very red, while the new one is very like purple colored scheme. And we're kind of tailoring them a little bit towards the Gundam card game, but I don't like putting zones or anything on them. So they're general use playmats. You can use these for any game, tabletop, or anything. So yeah, I'm super stoked for these. The other thing we want to note, when will these be available? This is pre-order for everything. Well, they are going to be available estimated near the end of December. Now, my manufacturer for at least the playmat side of things estimated around the 17th, but we're not going for finished manufacturing. But then they still need to ship. So I'm going to say probably not in time for Christmas. So if you wanted to buy this, any of the restocks or the new mat as a thing for Christmas, don't count on it. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. Please do not count on it in Christmas. I'm personally estimating end of December. So that's when I'm estimating. Of course, if we get them earlier, we'll ship them earlier, and I'll probably do an announcement. Hey, they're all shipping, yada yada yada. But yeah, that's kind of like the thing, the dealio. And all of these are being manufactured at the same time. At least the playmats are. The Dragon Shield sleeves obviously are being manufactured separately. Pre-orders that include both sleeves and playmats will ship when they both come in, or vice versa, right? So if you ordered only sleeves, well, they'll ship when the sleeves come in. If you ordered only playmats, well, they'll ship when the playmats come in. If you order both, they'll ship when they both come in. So anyway, I've already yapped long enough about this. I'm super, super happy about this, super proud of it. And as I mentioned before, as I alluded to, we will be having a fourth one next year to round out the series because we have 4 main characters. This is Vea, and our final character, her name is Etoile, and she will be the same faction as codename Villain. So these are kind of like our enemy faction in our kind of Project Red Zone mecha universe that we're kind of like pseudo creating here. So I'm really looking forward to that. All the characters have different designs and features, and Etoile is going to be she's going to get a little bit of a redesign. She's going to have like twin tails. A little bit into the story, she's like Katsumi's best friend, but she's on like the opposite side of the war kind of deal. Anyway, hey, I love this kind of stuff. So that's our Vea Fleet Commander playmat, and I'm super proud of it. It looks so good. So big shout out to Pinakes. He's awesome, and he just does such a perfect job bringing all this stuff to life. So, all right, let's go back to me. Hello, we're back to me. Let me bring up my. I wrote this all out because it's a lot to talk about and say. So, we're gonna talk about the lows and the highs. Let's talk about the lows first. And I'm not gonna show you any images for this, because the lows this year basically just have to do with a lot of personal things and health problems. For those who have been subscribed to the channel for the whole year, you might have remembered that I kind of almost died. I say that jokingly, but also not jokingly. I actually almost died. I was in the hospital for over a week. I had some very serious throat surgery, like mouth and throat surgery. I don't know if you can. I have a big scar right here. Long story short, I had a really, really bad infected tooth that caused infections in my throat. And then when they did like the x-rays, they're like, yeah, we need to like, and I couldn't open my mouth. That's the really important part. I could not open my mouth anymore. Like literally it was like lockjawed. And they were like, we need to do some x-rays and some scans. And they did scans. I'm like, yeah, it's in your throat. Like it's traveled to your throat. So we need to do emergency surgery today. And so, yeah, they did. They cut into my throat. They got into the infection, fixed it up, and then they pulled out the infected teeth. And then I was in the hospital recovering for about over a week. And then after that, I couldn't open my mouth very well for a while. Anyway, it's pretty bad. Like it's affected me quite a bit. And so it's, in some ways, it is one of the worst years of my life so far. It's been pretty rough on me personally. But we're all good now. We're fine. For this, I want to give some huge shout outs. And there's a lot of people who like supported me when they found out about this. And I want to give a particular big shout out to some of the Grand Archive development team, specifically like Silidar. They sent me like a kind like get well card that included like soup and like a blanket. Like they didn't send me cards or anything, but they sent me like practical like real stuff, and it was incredibly touching. And man, I just want to give a big shout out to them. Like out of everyone, it meant a lot to me. So that is actually one of the highs of the year. Games like Grand Archive. The game itself continues to be absolutely wonderful. The World Championship this year was amazing. I've shoutcasted the World Champs for that 2 years in a row, and same with Shadowverse Evolve. We'll talk about that in a second as well. But Grand Archive is on the up and up, and I think the sky's the limit for that game, man. I really think that is gonna be like the premier indie trading card game. They're doing everything right. They're super cool to people they work with, super cool to content creators. They're really good to the fans. They have amazing events. I just can't say enough good things about Grand Archive. You know, call me a shill or whatever, but I genuinely believe that they're an amazing company, an amazing game. So, yeah, I wholeheartedly support them because they're just good people. And the game just is amazing. So, yeah. I kind of didn't want to start with Grand Archive. I wanted to start with Gundam. We'll talk about Gundam next. So Gundam has had a huge, absolutely huge impact positive impact on both me and Red Zone Rogue. Gundam is currently my most watched trading card game, and it's like by a factor of 2 to 5 times. Like even other TCGs that I put out like regular content for, which are Grand Archive and Shadowverse Evolve, Gundam frequently doubles or up to 5x's their views. In fact, here, you know what? All right, so we're back to the overlay. And I just kind of wanted to kind of showcase this a little bit. And the best way to do it is with playlists. I playlist everything on the channel because I'm neurotic like that, and I just like having a playlist for everything. So we have a playlist for Gundam. We've done 64 Gundam videos, and as you can see, every video, like 1K, 2.6, 2.6. This one had a little bit less. I'm probably gonna change the thumbnail on this one. This is just a box opening video, but like everyone's like minimum at least 1K. And then we have stuff that's like 5K, 3K, 5K again, 7K, 4.6, like all the way up to like we got some 10Ks if I keep scrolling down here. My point is that Gundam does very well on the channel, and I love Gundam. Gundam's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and so this has just been an amazing, positive thing for me. And it's not going anywhere. It's like I said, it's the most watched thing on the channel, and all of our like mecha themed merch is our best selling stuff, and it's not even close. It's been such a positive and wholesome experience for me that, man, it's weird to say because it's only been out for like a year-ish. Like I went to the Gundam World Premiere event like about a year ago from now. I have a video on that too if you'd like to see. Where did I've done a lot of Gundam stuff. Here, 11 months ago, I put out the vlog for the World Premiere event. But Gundam might just be considered my main game here just by audience and views just alone. I have like 10 Gundam decks. So my point is, I love Gundam and it's doing very well. And every time I do a poll or something, everyone's like, more Gundam. Just give us more Gundam. And so I love Gundam. It's doing well. There's gonna be a lot more Gundam, okay? This game not going anywhere has solidified itself as not just one of my main games. It might be considered the main game here on the channel by viewership alone. Now I want to talk about some of the other games. I also want to compare that to the viewership of some of the other content here. So like I don't want to disparage like for example, let me find just the regular Grand Archive. So here we have Grand Archive, right? Grand Archive, pardon me, also does very well. but it's very consistently about like 1 to 3K. So we have like 1.7, 1.4. You can see it here, 1.1K, 1K, almost 2, 3K, 1.9. This 10K one's a short, but you can see like with some exceptions like this 5.6 here and this 4K here. Grand Archive, yeah, pretty consistently between 1 to 5-ish K views per Grand Archive video. I love Grand Archive, like I said, and I love making content for this game. Also not going anywhere. This is a staple for the channel and one of my main games and one of my absolute favorite games. Literally my favorite indie TCG. I think it's the best indie TCG on the market, and it's also my favorite one. So I just wanted to kind of compare this to Gundam. Gundam also got a lot of 1K-ish stuff, but Gundam frequently got, on average, like much higher, like, you know, 3K up to 5s and 7s. And then the final game here I wanted to mention as my third main game, and that is Shadowverse Evolve. Now I'm going to be 100% honest. I am a Shadowverse Evolve English Edition ambassador, for like an official ambassador for this game. And it like sucks for me to say, and it sucks. It just sucks to see, but Shadowverse has been performing less well than other stuff, and I have a couple of reasons that or a couple of thoughts of why that might be. I haven't been posting about it quite as much as some of the other games, but it's kind of hit and miss. Like here's some older ones, like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. They're doing pretty good in the same kind of ballpark, but recently they've been doing, you know, not as good. So we have like a 900, 800 here, 900. For me, these are like anything below 1K is considered to be like kind of a flop. But here's where I'm coming at with this. I love Shadowverse Evolve. I think the game is amazing, and I think it is one of the best games on the market, and it is super fun to play. Anyone who plays Gundam, and you want to play something that's similar, has a similar system, you should play Shadowverse Evolve. There's way more deck variety, at least currently. And it's like really affordable and really fun. And it's not just me saying that because I'm an ambassador for the game. I genuinely love the game, and I'm an ambassador because I genuinely love the game. And I will keep making videos about Shadowverse Evolve because I genuinely love the game, even if they don't do as well as the other stuff. So I would love for it to do much better, and I'm trying for it to do better. So we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of where Shadowverse Evolve is. Now, let me go back to me. Hello again. Okay, so let me bring up the menu. So that's where those games are. I also want to give a without Shadowverse Evolve and without Bushiroad, I wouldn't have been able to travel to Japan as much as I have. So I just want to give a huge shout out to them. Just in general, it's been a joy working with Bushiroad and Shadowverse Evolve. But Bushiroad just in general has been amazing to work with. Out of all of the big companies I've worked with, and I'll say this, I haven't really worked with Bandai all that much. They did invite me to the world premiere, and I have done like one sponsored Bandai video. But other than that, I really haven't worked with them all that much, so I can't really say much about that. My experience with them has been great. But I've worked with Bushiroad a lot more, and I really love working with them. So just have really positive things to say. In a lot of ways, they do feel kind of like a bit of a, I don't want to say an indie company, but they have a more of a small company vibe than some other stuff. So I don't know. I really like them. And then I'm not even saying this in order. Now it's just super rambly. And then I just want to, this is another part of the highs of the year. I just want to shout out some childhood dream sponsors. I don't know how to put it any other way. This year I got sponsored by Godzilla, of all things, twice. I love Godzilla. I grew up watching Godzilla. My first Godzilla movie was Godzilla versus the Sea Monster on VHS. That's the American version of it, or American title. I think it's a Godzilla Ebirah Horror of the Deep, I think is what the Japanese version is called. But man, I love Godzilla. I used to ask anyone who knew me growing up, family members, my parents. I have Godzilla t-shirts. I still have one that I have like a 20-year-old Godzilla t-shirt I wear to bed. Being sponsored by Godzilla is just kind of one of those moments where I'm just like, they asked me and I'm like, say less. I love Godzilla so much. So that is for the Godzilla card game, which I actually think is a genuinely good, unique, and fun card game. But the fact that I got to work with Godzilla even a little bit was like one of those things where I'm like, yeah, kid version of me would be like, you're doing it, man. You did a great job. And then we also have sponsorships from Subaraya and Ultraman, which is another, like, I'm not super big into Ultraman, but still, like, just being able to do sponsored stuff with them. For me personally, I still kind of think of myself as just like a little guy, just trying to do his best and just talk about card games. But stuff like that just is like awesome. It's awesome. And then I just also want to give a shout out to all of the indie sponsors that we've had this year, and like games that we featured, and Kickstarters that have been successful, like Echoes of Astra. Really love that game. I'll be covering that game more on the channel. There's Chrono Core. I want to give a shout out to Chrono Core. Also had another successful Kickstarter, and Neuroscape. Those are all reviews and sponsored videos of games that I genuinely really liked, and I was really happy to see them be successful on Kickstarter. I'm really eager to see where those go in the future. And then we also have more to come from other potential big IPs that I'm like extremely stoked about, that I don't want to talk too much about just in case things don't pan out. But some other folks have reached out to me, and it's a Godzilla type moment where I'm already an insanely huge fan, and I was like, of course I want to be a part of it. So we'll talk about that when the time comes. You can maybe guess in the comment section down below. It's not a game that I featured or talked about on the channel yet, but it is one that was kind of like stealth announced. I'm looking forward to it. And then next year, let's talk about next year stuff. So I wrote huge continued focus on Gundam. Yes, it's quickly becoming the main focus through sheer audience numbers. Yes, already kind of talked about this. Yeah, going into next year, huge focus on Gundam. What do I mean by huge focus? I don't know, minimum 2 videos a week, maybe even more. I've already kind of kept up that cadence, and I have like 60 something Gundam videos, and there's only 2 sets out. So safe to say, I got a lot to talk about and make videos for about like Gundam. I even have a lot more decks I want to feature, some rogue decks. When new meta decks become relevant, we'll talk about them. Just today, I saw a Japanese winning red-green Wing Xeon deck. It doesn't use Wing 0. It stops at the LR wing from the starter deck, but it also runs like 4 Senanju and like Zaku's. It's a sweet deck, and it won. I'm going to make a video on it. I think it's awesome. I'm building the deck like literally after I'm done recording this. I have to see if I have enough. It runs Kshatriyas too, so I might have to like swap Kshatriyas for my red-white deck. Anyway, so Gundam. I love Gundam. It's not going anywhere. It's, like I said, slowly becoming quickly becoming the main game on the channel just by audience numbers alone. And then, yeah, I'm still 100% committed to Grand Archive and Shadowverse Evolved. I absolutely love those games. They're a huge part of my life. I can't wait to go to my next event for both of them. I can't wait to talk about them and do more, more decks and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, even though Gundam has become like a main focus, I still love Shadowverse and Grand Archive, and I will still continue to support them. Grand Archive viewership has been really good, and Shadowverse has been less good, but I love the game, and I will keep supporting it and trying to get more people to play it because I think it's amazing. And then like variety stuff. So I'd like to remain mostly focused on those titles with an occasional focus on like sponsors or other potential new or side games. And so what I mean by like new or side games, stuff like, if a new Kickstarter is coming out that I think is interesting and they want to if they want me to make a video about the game, hey, maybe we do a sponsored video on that. Or if a new game is coming out that I think is personally interesting, and maybe I'll do a video on that. A good example of this is not a game that's new, but Sorcery is releasing their third main set, Gothic, and it looks really cool. I haven't really gone into spoilers or anything on it, and I want to just open the set and experience it like brand new. And so we're going to do that. We are going to, I bought a box of Gothic, not sponsored or anything. I bought a booster box of Gothic, and I bought the starter decks, and we're going to do a starter deck opening and review, and then we're just going to open up the booster box and have fun with it. So that kind of stuff as like potential side things. People ask me a lot, what I think about sorcery. I still like sorcery. I just don't think it's a great fit for regular content on Red Zone Rogue with the kind of channel that I make. But I still like it. I think it's my favorite game that I don't regularly feature. So yeah, that's basically it. I kind of covered everything I want to talk about. It's a really rambly video. Now it's almost like 30 minutes. Hey, if anyone's stuck here to the end, like, thank you so much. I don't even know what to have you say. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I'll lead off on at the end here is I have some pretty sweet plans for next year. So next year is my 10-year anniversary with Red Zone Rogue on YouTube, and I want to do something pretty cool for the 10-year anniversary. I have some ideas, which includes some stuff that might not ever happen, but I wanted to do something that I was going to call the Red Zone Invitational, where I invite people to like a gauntlet of trading card games. Because me, I love TCGs. It's my life's passion. I wanted it to be like a wide variety of TCGs. But I don't know how that would work because I don't know very many people who play as much or who know how to play as many TCGs as I do. Like I have a lot of friends in the TCG content creator space, but like for example, I'm gonna use Main Deck for example. I'm friends with Main Deck Dan. He's a great guy. We have a bit of crossover, but not a ton of crossover, right? Like I could invite him on the show, but he doesn't have like a Gundam deck ready to play, and he doesn't play like Shadowverse, but he does play Grand Archive. And like I have other examples too that are like similar situations, right? Like my buddy Doa, like Eric Doa, he really likes Gundam, but he doesn't have any Shadowverse decks or Grand Archive decks, so it'll be hard to find a mesh. But I'm thinking of options. And then next year also we have our fourth mecha, Project Red Zone mecha splash art that'll kind of like cap out the series. And then maybe we'll do some other stuff going forward. I haven't planned out that far. I have planned out the initial Project Red Zone mecha batch. And after that we'll see. And then I want to do something really special for the 10K or for the 10-year anniversary. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. And thank you all so much for being here and being a great supporter, man. The community's amazing. If you haven't joined our Discord, Discord's awesome. The community's awesome. No matter what game you play, everyone's super chill. My only ask, and I can say this now that YouTube's not going to catch this like 30 minutes in, just don't be an asshole, man. Like that's the only requisite for joining the Discord. Don't be an asshole. Over the course of the last 10 years, we've had like Discord's only been up for a couple years. We've only ever had to like kick like a couple people who just melted down when I wasn't even there. Outside of that though, everyone's super chill, welcoming of all people, no matter what game you play. We're here to just talk about card games and other nerdy stuff. There's a weeb channel. You can talk about weeb stuff, comic books. You can talk about model kits. I love Gunpla. Other people love building minis, Warhammer minis. It's a great place, and I want to foster like a chill, welcoming environment for people just to talk about the nerdy hobbies that they have. Because I feel like it's a great escape from real life, because real life can suck, man. I just talked about it. I like almost died this year out of nowhere. And there's other parts of real life that can really suck. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into it right now, but I've been through some stuff, man. So I just want to make a cool space for people just to hang out. So join the Discord. All right, we're rambling now. Thank you all so much for watching. This is our Red Zone Rogue year-end stuff. When I get around to finally putting up all the new posters, I'll do a studio tour. I also have a couple big sorry for cracking the knuckles. I have a big how to start playing Grand Archive video planned. I want to do that for all the main games. So how to start playing Gundam, how to start playing Shadowverse Evolve, and more stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate you, genuinely. And I don't know. I'll see you next time. We put out like 3 to 5 videos a week. I'll see you in the next video. We'll see you.